Yuji accompanied Kanan back to the demon world. Facing the magnificent palace, both Yuji and Jin couldn't help but exclaiming out, while Kanan went to see her father. Yuji went to the restroom but ended up getting lost in the vast palace. Just then, a beautiful woman stopped Yuji and asked if he needed help. However, when she realized Yuji was a boy, she immediately panicked and tried to hide inside a box. Yuji mistakenly thought there was something terrifying behind him. It wasn't until two little girls appeared that he learned the woman suffered from severe agoraphobia. After introductions, Yuji learned that the three in front of him were Kanan's mother, their Lim, and her two younger sisters, Milch and Meal. Meanwhile, Kanan was reporting to her father about her experiences in the human world. Although she had impulsively brought Yuji back, she hadn't thought about how to explain this to her father. Unexpectedly, upon learning Kanan had a partner, her father, Beel's bear, was actually very happy. It wasn't until Lilin brought Jin in that Kanan realized her family had mistakenly assumed Jin was the partner. Kanan quickly explained that her partner was a human named Yuji. Everyone was shocked upon learning the truth, as humans were generally seen as food to them. At that moment, maids wheeled out a giant cloche. When it was opened, Yuji was inside, completely naked. It turned out the maids thought Yuji was a gift brought back by Kanan and were preparing to cook him. Although Yuji met Kanan's family under such strange circumstances, he still seriously introduced himself. Seeing Yuji, who showed no fear even in front of the great demon lord father, made Kanan, who already liked him, fall for him even more. Unfortunately, bluffing alone wasn't enough to move Beel's bear. He handed Kanan a collection book, stating that if Kanan and Yuji could collect the seals from all four of them, he would approve their relationship. Since that, Kanan decided to start with her mother, who should have been the easiest to convince. Unfortunately, Lilim, who had agoraphobia, was terrified of Yuji. Even when Yuji dressed up as a girl, Lilith still rejected him because of his light hair. However, this gave Kanan an idea. Since Lilith was afraid of male characteristics, wouldn't it be fine if those characteristics weren't there? With that thought, she had Yuji drink a potion to turn him into a child. Needless to say, this trick worked indeed. Unfortunately, the potion's effect was too short. Before Lilith could stamp the book, Yuji turned back to his original form and scared Lilith unconscious. Although she couldn't give Kanan the seal, Lilith offered to let them taste her desserts. Seeing Yuji's expectant look, Kanan decided to bake a cake herself. Unfortunately, Jado, who had never entered a kitchen, was truly unbearable to watch in terms of cooking skills. However, seeing Kanan working hard for her beloved, Lilith felt very gratified. Her impression of Yuji also changed quite a bit. She even inadvertently touched Yuji. Soon, Kanan finished her first work. Watching Kanan inject delicious magic into the dish, Yuji couldn't help but make a cute exclamation. Milch and Meal came to the kitchen at this time. Seeing Kanan's cake, Milch was about to try it, but was stopped by Kanan. Since it was her first cake, Kanan wanted Yuji to try it first. However, she was too shy to say this, so she lied and said she wanted Yuji to test the taste first to avoid getting us the magic cake. Unfortunately, her little scheme couldn't fool Milch. Milch suggested that since they were a couple, Kanan should feed Yuji. However, when Kanan actually fed Yuji, she took a bite of the cake herself. In the end, she even used a fork she had eaten with to have an indirect kiss with Yuji. This made Kanan unable to bear and decided to teach this brat a good lesson. After the dessert incident, Lilith was finally no longer so resistant to Yuji. However, even so, she still couldn't give Kanan the seal unless she and Yuji could pass the Zebu family's test, the courage test. Will Yuji and his group succeed? Follow my channel to get the latest anime plot updates first.